am the classic forgotten bastard child, dodging a forced marriage to the Empire's famously terrifying Duke, and happily bagged a fake contract marriage instead. Toss in a disguised, incredibly handsome royal crown prince, who is totally obsessing over me, plus a holy Saintess awakening. Yep, that is the outrageously long title of my absolutely favorite romance novel. The angelic heroine, a tragically oppressed noble bastard child treated like garbage by relatives, is the sparkling central star of this magical romantic fantasy. I passionately read where the two absolute strongest, most gorgeous men in the Empire fall for her, after stumbling into chaotic romantic drama together. We have the main catch, the terrifying Northern Duke, and the tragic second lead, the prince, sneaking around in disguise. Naturally, they must dramatically survive a ridiculous mountain of spicy misunderstandings and challenges. The grand finale is brilliantly predictable. Our shining girl awakens holy magical powers and scores perfect love. Nighttime finally arrives. Dragging my exhausted corpse home from corporate office hell, I simply cannot ignore my true soulmate, which is this glorious paperback. Being a total fiction addict, I absolutely must lug the precious physical copy around with me everywhere I possibly go. This trashy romance is my ultimate survival medicine. Honestly speaking, the background world building is a total hilarious disaster, and the pacing is pretty terrible. The storyline is ridiculously predictable. I can magically guess the exact next slap scene before flipping pages. It is delightfully cliché, cookie-cutter romance fantasy. Despite the heavy cringe, my little heart just melts seeing our precious heroine win. I honestly project my own miserable, broke life onto the agonizing struggles the heroine endures. Wait, what if I became a wicked villainess instead of her? Heck no! I would happily play the 10th background extra safely far away from the sparkly main cast. Truly, anything works. I desperately want to escape into that magical fantasy. So, the exhausted office worker trudged home, completely distracted by fictional men. But tragically, her clumsy legs tangled. She spectacularly tumbled forward. Suddenly, a massive truck aggressively sped near. Her tired eyes bulged in pure comic panic. The precious book dropped, pages frantically fluttering open, unleashing a blinding flash. When she finally blinked awake, she felt absolutely mind-blown, because the entire space surrounding was an insanely flashy, gold-plated grand palace. Wait, what is happening? I was clearly just walking outside. How did I teleport here? What is this weird place? Hilariously, the massive truck had smoothly crashed inside the Grand Palace. The sweating driver, completely totally dumbfounded, muttered, "Where am I?" The scene cuts to a fancy room. Wait, what did Father say? Her trashy dad, Baron Brody, screamed, "Are you suddenly deaf, you useless brat? I am marrying you off to Grand Duke Tenian!" Now, regarding the terrifying Nordia clan, the absolute deadliest blade of the Empire, the singular Grand Ducal family. They literally dominated countless bloody wars and obliterated pathetic rebels to claim their terrifying reputation. But naturally, the cowardly royal family got super intimidated by their insane military strength and banished them up north. Tragically, the entire Nordia clan was mysteriously wiped out overnight. When the lone survivor, our current grumpy Grand Duke, seized absolute control, the high society nobles frantically gossiped. A heartless tyrant, a totally crazy, bloodthirsty monster, an icy wall who literally never smiles, a deliciously terrifying northern ruler. Our panicked heroine screamed internally. A terrifying boss like that with me? I am Cy Brody, the ultimate absolute joke of this family, a bastard, cursed with the blood of a poor maid. Honestly, I look exactly like my unlucky mother. Here, I am literally just a convenient political tool holding a title purely because these snobs figured they could milk me for profit. Inside this toxic mansion, absolutely nobody considers me actual living family. Her garbage dad smugly smirked and mocked. Is it not time you finally proved useful? If this marriage works, we can completely leech off the terrifying Grand Duke's immense wealth and power. Delusional greed. Those spicy rumors claiming our terrible family is going utterly bankrupt thanks to Dad's garbage business skills? Definitely not fake news. But how could an ordinary nobody like me woo the terrifying Duke? Heck no, I would absolutely trigger his murderous anger. Then, my head will roll like the dead Nordia members. Years of swallowing insults from this toxic family, the absolute pathetic helplessness deeply baked into my very soul, meant nothing compared to the pure terror of getting sliced. Sweating buckets, Sai raged internally. I absolutely refuse to die. Today, brave Sai finally decided to rebel against her toxic relatives. I loudly declared I needed to buy essential survival gear before freezing in the snowy north. Usually, this street is totally empty. Was my clever gut feeling right? Are these goons actually stalking me? The beefy knight shadowing her glared suspiciously around, grumbling, "My security senses are tingling. Something feels super sketchy. We must abort this trip and bounce immediately," I mentally screamed. "Excuse me? We have not even reached my secret runaway escape alley yet." She played the cute, innocent card, squeaking. "Oh, but sir, we missed the shiny boutique I requested." The annoyed meathead barked, "My lord explicitly commanded me to basically keep you trapped." "Wait, are you seriously defying his direct orders?" He aimed a fierce death stare. Sai instantly knew the drill. As predicted, they arranged strict babysitters. What should I do? Maybe I will tactically retreat home and secretly plot anew. Heck no! I am getting shipped north soon. Once trapped there, will I ever get to safely run away? Her delicate fingers shook, crushing the worn luggage handle. This desperate chance was everything. She heroically smashed the bag into the armored guard's jaw and sprinted for freedom. Before the dazed guard could ever recover his balance, absolute panic swept the streets. The crowd shrieked frantically. "Look out! A terrifying beast has appeared!" Amidst the frenzy, a fleeing pedestrian violently collided with our desperate heroine. Consequently, she collapsed hard against the cold pavement, her widened pupils trembling. A massive metal beast hurtled closer. Her cruel father's wicked smirk tragically flashed before her. Is this tragic end my inescapable fate? Perishing completely powerless, burdened solely by that worthless, empty aristocratic noble title? She clutched her messy hair and wailed in defiance, "I refuse this destiny!" Meanwhile, the utterly bewildered driver hollered, "Holy heavens above! What in the world is happening?" A deafening metallic screech erupted. Miraculously, the monstrous steel chariot swerved violently, narrowly missing her. The frantic man bellowed, "Hey there, young schoolgirl! Are you completely unhurt?" For Sate Brody, the despised aristocratic outcast. In one magical heartbeat, she felt deeply convinced this mysterious savior could rewrite her destiny. Hold on, let us spin the clock backward. Why did this peculiar hero manifest here? Mr. Baytagian, 53 years old, a weary cargo transporter, braving the logistics sector. A perfectly average, utterly unremarkable middle-aged man from South Korea, today had concluded yet another exhausted shift of backbreaking labor. The pitch-black midnight hour approached during his dreary commute home. Yet suddenly, what bizarre dimension is this? Hold up, did he drive overseas? He possessed zero comprehension of romantic fantasy tropes. Without warning, a commanding shout thundered, "An unknown beast! Form defensive positions!" Taechin pondered in sheer bafflement. Eh? Speaking Korean? Why the absurd cosplay outfits? Is this a movie production? Some historical drama set? Pause. I was driving down the highway just moments prior. I should interrogate those actors for directions. The second he yelled, "Pardon me!" a fiercely armed swordsman violently charged ahead. Taejin screeched in absolute horror. "Yikes!" The warrior viciously struck the container. He cursed furiously. "Blast it! 0 damage taken!" Yet judging by the screams, it worked. "If we maintain this assault," interrupting his monologue, the metal beast zoomed off, leaving the guards entirely flabbergasted. "It flees! Pursue immediately!" Taijin thought furiously to himself. "Aha! Total undeniable lunatics!" Consequently, the panicked Ajusi blindly floored the gas pedal, desperately seeking any sane person. After his escape, a bystander registered, the bizarre roaring engine muttering bewilderedly, "Goodness, What is that strange rumbling noise? Inside his cabin, our driver pleaded, "Pardon me, could I inquire?" While the terrified mob scattered frantically into the distance. Taejin wailed in sheer desperation. "Wait, why is everybody fleeing?" Thus Destiny introduced Sate, preempting the handsome male lead entirely. Returning to reality. Young lady, pay attention. You absolutely cannot foolishly dive directly into an oncoming machine's path, understand? Seriously, if tragedy struck your fragile body, how would I possibly cope? Tell me. Who bears the blame exactly? Furthermore, weird lunatics are relentlessly hunting me. Heavens above, my sanity is completely slipping. Total madness. Sate lowered her gaze, murmuring, "My apologies." Instantly, Taejin froze. Pause. Wait a second. Is she the solitary individual who didn't immediately flee? Modulating his tone gently. "Listen, little miss. Practice immense caution hereafter. Ayusi merely seeks one crucial answer. Can you identify our current geographical location?" Before securing her response, the heavily armored pursuers finally arrived. "Target located!" The bewildered delivery man squinted hard. "Honestly, what ridiculous cosplay is that?" The regal warrior clenched his jaw furiously. "Such insolent audacity! You haughty peasant! His lordship shall exact severe vengeance!" The desperate noblewoman frantically pleaded. "I beg you, smuggle me away," the startled driver asked. "Why the sudden request? I am facing grave danger. Anywhere suffices. I possess wealth. I implore you." Observing her ghostly white complexion, delicate fingers quivering, while desperately gripping his uniform sleeve, her fragile grasp tragically failed. The heartbroken girl agonized internally. Does my story conclude here? If forcefully hauled back to hell, must I endure further abuse? Whatever, my miserable demise approaches regardless. However, the Ajusi roared, "Why hesitate outside? Cease standing around! Board this transport instantly!" The young noblewoman's irises expanded with absolute disbelief and overwhelming profound thankfulness. Miraculously, they completely evaded capture, securing a perfectly hidden sanctuary. The driver remembered his hilarious struggle, assisting someone completely oblivious to automobiles. He gently instructed her awkward movements. "Step this way, pivot carefully, and enter. Move fast. Now secure your safety harness." Recalling that comedy, he buried his face, grumbling, "I might truly perish." Abruptly twisting backward, he entirely startled Sadie. This adolescent seems incredibly fragile. What provoked such relentless pursuit? Perhaps our little runaway escaped her strict aristocratic household? Pondering silently, he gently inquired, "Ashusi has a question. Actually, Miss Sate, are you feeling frightened?" "I remain harmless. Zero malicious intent. Banish your fears." Geez, how should Ajusi explain this? Well, Ajusi is merely a highly benevolent courier. The noblewoman stared perplexed. A courier? Oh, does that title soothe your racing heartbeat? You attend an academy, correct? Truthfully, not exactly. Sate wildly theorized internally. He's a legendary vanguard! Should my vicious patriarch discover my escape, could that tyrant simply forgive my escape? Never. He would tear the whole world apart hunting me. Remaining perfectly alert is my only option. Does this grumpy guy honestly possess knightly honor? Taxon grumbled bitterly. I seriously never imagined my life becoming ridiculous. Her sudden, high-pitched gasp made Toxin blink confusingly. She begged sweetly, "Mister, please be my heroic shield." Meanwhile, utter pandemonium erupted elsewhere. A bewildered royal guard shouted out, "Forgive my unpardonable tardiness, but total madness has completely blocked the main highway, Your Grace. Enter our gorgeous male lead, Noria's Duke Tinian Judith Carlos." Inside Brody Mansion, a panicked soldier barged inward, screaming, "My lord, a massive crisis!" "Imbecile! Where is your captain? A terrifying metallic beast absolutely crushed your precious floral garden. Are you completely kidding me?" Another breathless servant interrupted. "Master, our rebellious second daughter eloped inside that unknown beast." Sai gleefully whispered, "Farewell, father. Our tragic bond shatters permanently today. Absolutely never again. The infuriated nobleman roared violently. You said what now? Another heavily armored guard dashed inside, bawling. My lord, speak! What disaster now? He shrugged comically. Honestly, I merely followed the hysterical crowd. Useless fools! Throw every single one outside instantly. The pure audacity. Hear my absolute command. Capture those ridiculous fugitives and violently drag them before my throne! Returning to our duo, Taxon hilariously pointed inward, stammering, Who? Me? Me? Defend a runaway teenager? Uncle? Why? Oh, my supposed knightly valor. Mid-sentence, her voice faded, frantically digging through her fancy luggage until producing a clinking gold pouch. She nervously murmured, My deepest apologies for lacking enormous wealth currently, but my heart desperately wishes to hire you, noble swordsman. Are you serious? This adorable infant believes she can formally employ me, extorting shiny pennies from toddlers? Hey there, attempting to openly mock a grown working man? You sassy gremlin. Honestly, just forget my complaining entirely. Kiddo. Repeatedly calling you kiddo feels incredibly awkward. Your name? My true identity? She blushed softly. I am officially Cy Brody. Scratch that. Just simply Cy works. You said Cy? Where exactly did we dramatically crash land? Is modern Korea still nearby? And those armored lunatics aggressively hunting my shadow, sporting perfectly coordinated magical uniforms? She gasped with wide-eyed shock. Wait, the royal swordsman mercilessly pursued you too? But why? Taxon explosively shouted back. Clueless! My driving was spectacular, until suddenly kissing deadly pavement. Awakening completely dazed, this bizarre fantasy landscape entirely surrounded me, and approaching any random frightened local triggered frantic, terrified sprinting. Pure insanity! Cy gently soothed his blazing temper. Breathe deeply. Anyway, we currently occupy the Mesa Empire's grandest romantic theater. Specifically this sun-drenched southern paradise named Tyrannos, matching its wild reputation perfectly. Lingering here guarantees those relentless enforcers will violently ambush us, she pondered. My terrifying father definitely received those scandalous updates already. Taxon, since traversing this unfamiliar universe leaves you completely stranded, fancy an exciting romantic escape toward our glittering capital? Immense distance beautifully neutralizes those pursuing royal hounds entirely. Moreover, our grand capital boasts endless magical gossip hubs, since vibrant crowds swarm together like romantic busy bees. Fate willing, perhaps miraculous clues regarding your modern homeworld exist. Also, a deeply destined encounter awaits my eager heart. Taxon gazed outdoors, contemplating silently downtown metropolis. Remaining stranded feels terribly idiotic, meaning blindly trusting this overly dramatic noble runaway represents my smartest survival strategy. Her sparkling innocent eyes definitely project absolute honesty. Without warning, his large warm palm affectionately patted Cy's trembling crown. Splendid! Destination, glittering capital. Therefore, please soften your frighteningly grumpy expression immediately. Understood? Beaming cheerfully magnetically attracts beautiful destiny straight toward your waiting arms. Incidentally, what precisely titles this mysterious golden metropolis? Oh, pointing yonder, it's Mama Tia! Toxin loudly scoffed. Such ridiculous branding! He aggressively commanded his cracked digital navigator. Direct route towards Mama Tia. Mama Tia, immediately. The glowing screen flashed. Incomprehensible gibberish detected entirely. Kindly fix your broken modern internet signal before trying hopelessly again. Taxon mentally panicked violently. Absolute catastrophe achieved! How do we navigate this fantasy wilderness? Got any magical solutions? Obviously, my trusty vintage parchment, paper directions. Grasping the fragile ancient scroll awkwardly, he massaged his temples while sheepishly muttering, Wow, physically reading an analog map hasn't happened since my childhood. Yet destiny cruelly demands deciphering this nonsense today. How many grueling hours until our glorious arrival? Rumors suggest exactly 5 exhausting hours via carriage. 5 long hours? Taxon closely inspected his fuel needle, internally rejoicing. Thank goodness, I pumped maximum gasoline returning home earlier. Without warning, he forcefully popped his metallic door, confidently stepping outside. Sai sweetly shrieked, "Mr. Driver!" Then delicately slipped out herself, gracefully tailing her grumpy protector toward his massive cargo trailer. Taxon deeply analyzed those mysterious stacked crates, intensely calculating, assuming this magical steel beast operates merely 60 daily minutes. Surviving an entire romantic week remains totally feasible, correct? What wondrous treasures occupy my back storage? Merely several boring refunded packages hastily collected previously. Are any legendary items inside? Noticing his intense brooding, Sai softly fluttered closer, sweetly asking, "Is trouble approaching, Sir Toxin?" Instantly, an ominous shadow materialized amidst the rustling magical foliage, fiercely glaring toward our protagonists. Coincidentally, Sai adorably tilted her head. Brave Taxon," my burning curiosity begs, addressing, "what is this masterpiece?" "Meaning what?" She gently patted the vehicle. "I promise you, this giant metal box is just a completely normal truck. It only carries boring cargo, nothing sinister at all." Instantly, her wild, romanticized fears completely melted away into thin air. "Oh, so it is. Just an ugly carriage." But suddenly, that breathtakingly mysterious stranger glided right toward them. Sai caught a sharp rustle, spinning around as pure, unadulterated panic flooded her trembling puppy dog eyes. A gleaming blade pressed dangerously against Taxon's throat, accompanied by a bone-chilling tone. "Wait, is this the legendary street-sweeping beast from earlier today?" Tenyin let the cold steel graze skin, smirking darkly. "Stalking you two was an excellent choice. Now speak. What dark secrets are you hiding?" The air practically crackled with suffocating tension. Tenyin locked his gorgeous yet murderous gaze onto his thoroughly terrified prey. Feeling the icy kiss of death, Taxon finally shrieked like a banshee. "What the actual heck?" before pathetically ducking down. "Holy cow, that is a real sharp sword!" Sai stared at the handsome psycho with absolute dread. Whoever this ridiculously intense man is, Taxon is going to lose his head. And if my ticket home dies, I am totally doomed next. Taxon wailed tragically. "Sai, whatever you do not anger this absolute lunatic. Your weird staring is just making him crazier." Ignoring him, she dramatically threw her arms wide, shielding the cowardly man with her own body. Tenyin blinked, utterly baffled. "What a bizarre display," she babbled frantically. "Sir, please, this is just one massive, hilarious misunderstanding. This weird metal beast is not a monster. Seriously, it is basically just a very ugly carriage. It will not eat anyone." Despite her brave words, her heart was doing frantic backflips. This whole situation is completely bananas. But surely, if I flutter my eyelashes and explain calmly, this handsome maniac might actually listen. Furthermore, this pathetic guy behind me is totally harmless. Taxon scrambled behind her skirt like a frightened turtle. Tenyin finally sneered. "Keep your pretty mouth shut, little lady. I was not addressing you." Sai glanced back at Taxon, wondering what stupid scheme he was plotting. Taxon flailed like a dying fish to catch her attention. Then, with shockingly slick agility, he urgently mouthed, "Run for it!" Meanwhile, the dangerously attractive swordsman growled, "Do not make me repeat myself, you annoying pest!" Bam! Taxon shoved the brooding warrior right in his muscular back. Tenyin violently tumbled headfirst into the dark cargo bed, only managing a stunned, "What the actual heck?" Slam! The heavy metal doors locked shut. Taxon wept tears of pure comedic joy. "I am alive!" He then twirled around to face Sai, whose pretty jaw was literally touching the floor. "Are you hurt? Your sweet face is white as a sheet. Quick, jump in the ride and let us escape!" Run away to where exactly? There has to be some local night brigade nearby, right? A gorgeous psycho like him absolutely belongs behind cold iron bars. While the poor girl stood frozen in utter shock, Taxon shoved her forward. "Hey, stop spacing out and get inside!" Screech! The metal beast roared into the distance. The terrifying stranger's majestic cape and sword lay abandoned in the dust. Inside, Sai was practically vibrating with nerves. She gulped, wondering, "Are we actually safe now? Wow, did I just accidentally pull off an epic heroine moment? That was weirdly easy." Thump! A loud galloping echoed behind them, prompting her to cautiously peek out the window. "Oh my gosh, heavily armored knights are hot on our tail." Those shiny uniforms definitely do not belong to the local baron. So why are they chasing that crazy hot guy? Wait a minute, that crest! A horrifying realization hit her like a truck. "Taxon, hit the brakes immediately!" She yanked his collar so hard, she accidentally bared his entire shoulder to the world. "Oops, my bad. I am just losing my mind here," Taxon yelled. "What is the emergency?" "Wait. Ignore my accidental striptease!" The angry hunk, currently trapped in our trunk, might actually be the bloodthirsty Grand Duke. Meanwhile, Tenyin was furiously denting the metal walls. He grumbled to himself. "Of course physical brute force is useless against this strange magic. I let my guard down entirely too easily. I am an absolute monumental idiot, blinded by my own arrogance, seduced by a false sense of security. I never expected that pathetic, sniveling weakling to suddenly attack me like some rabid, rampaging bull." A dark, thrilling smirk curved his lips. How delightfully amusing. In the driver's seat, Taxon mysteriously shivered, sensing impending doom. The captured Duke gracefully sat in the gloom. Instantly, his piercing gaze sharpened. His gloved hand reached out, capturing a single, lonely ray of sunshine. His fist closed tightly, crushing the light, suffocating darkness. Exactly like that tragic afternoon, the cursed memories still burned fiercely in his soul. "Tenyin, my sweet boy, listen to me. Until someone unlocks this, you must stay hidden." Once the deafening chaos finally faded away, an eerie, dead silence followed. Yet my racing heart knew a bloody massacre was unfolding just beyond the wood. Trapped in terrifying blackness, I wondered, when will freedom come? Tap, tap. A gentle knock echoed. Little Tenyin gasped with desperate, fragile hope. "Mother? Father? Big brother?" Tragically, his dramatic, heart-wrenching flashback was rudely interrupted when Taxon and Sai awkwardly yanked the metal doors wide open. Tenyin blinked, utterly confused. Who are these weirdos? Rewinding just a few minutes prior, Taxon had stared like a totally clueless idiot. A literal monster? "What are you babbling about?" Sai gasped. "Are you seriously telling me you have never heard of the terrifyingly gorgeous Grand Duke? He literally chopped off a chef's head just for finding a single hair in his soup. He even executed a trembling maid for messing up his luxurious bubble bath. And he viciously slaughtered his own butler for embezzling family funds." Taxon tilted his head in pure confusion. "Wait, is that not just a normal punishment for a corrupt servant? It is so much worse than that." He is not merely the tragic exiled Duke. He is literally known as the Guillotine of Hell, the battlefield heartbreaker, that notorious neck slicer, devouring absolutely everyone like a tasty snack. Are they all bloody executioners? Nope, we have the heartless emperor, crazy magic psycho, and that perpetually depressed jester. Taxon sweated profusely. Do I really need this lore drop right now? Regardless, it means this hot stranger totally isn't the victim here. He is actually the dangerous main villain. Let us flee instantly! Wait, this is completely wrong. Meanwhile, those armored knights were furiously pursuing them outside. However, both guards and steeds were completely drained. "Commander, my legs are dying! Quickly restore our majestic formation!" They stared pitifully at the magical carriage zooming away, desperately whispering, "Our glorious prince, please endure this tragic separation just slightly longer." Returning to reality, handsome Tinian lounged with crossed arms, oozing absolutely terrifying murderous charm. Taexun and Sai awkwardly lowered their sweating faces like scolded puppies. Rewinding the hilarious flashbacks again, who cares what bizarre modern world Taexun mysteriously escaped from? But regarding glorious aristocratic hierarchy, Duke, Marquis, Count, Viscount, and Baron. In this fantastical romance, high-ranking lords demand utter submission. Taexun hilariously deadpanned. That sounds exactly like corporate Korea. Therefore, Entering the glamorous capital guarantees our brutal execution. Perhaps we should pathetically grovel for mercy? Why is my life a tragic comedy? Returning to reality, Tae-soon confidently strutted right up, smacked the terrifying Duke's broad shoulder, chuckling nervously. Dude, you aggressively flashed that giant blade first! Ha ha ha! Total miscommunication! The handsome Duke shot him an absolutely lethal glare. Tae-soon shamelessly ducked behind little Sai. He shoved her head down. Hurry, you must grovel too, kid. Please accept my deepest apologies, Tinian declared. Absolutely spot on, you incredibly foolish peasant. Your unforgivable audacity warrants instant romantic decapitation on this very spot, without hesitation. Tae-soon whimpered. As expected, a literal walking executioner! Tinian snarled. Never compare majestic humans to guillotines. Tragically, my curiosity is officially activated. Instantly, Tae-soon spotted those ruined cargo crates. My precious merchandise! Hey! Why rip my precious livelihood into absolute confetti? The handsome Duke smirked. During my confinement, I simply evaluated those peculiar artifacts. Such bizarre treasures. Items I have literally never witnessed before. Ignoring him, Tae-soon completely fixated on his ruined inventory. He furiously lunged forward, demanding justice. Compensate my immense financial loss immediately! Eek! Sai frantically halted his incredibly suicidal rage. Tae-soon! You must control your blinding temper! Suddenly, Tinian elegantly extended his hand. Accompany me. If you do, I will generously forgive your unforgivable disrespect. However, your pathetic ticking clock is expiring rapidly. Take my hand or perish alone. Tae-soon locked eyes with Sai, desperately whispering. What is our survival strategy? Is this gorgeous tyrant actually trustworthy? Both narrowed their eyes suspiciously. Suddenly, that legion of armored pursuers crashed the tension. Commander! Targets acquired! Countless gleaming lethal blades instantly surrounded our terrified duo. Encircled entirely by absolute death, gorgeous Tinian commanded, choose instantly, otherwise, your pathetic necks will detach from your shoulders. Tae-soon immediately screamed, I am absolutely yours. Processing this shameless surrender, Tinian imperiously commanded, lower your blades. This fascinating commoner belongs to me. Every single guard immediately withdrew their terrifying weapons. Tae-soon dramatically exhaled immense relief. Fantastic. Your survival instinct is sharp. Approach me. But violently pivoting, he horrifyingly witnessed poor Sai dangling helplessly from a brutal soldier's grip. The nerve! Did you peasants seriously believe you could escape together? Tae-soon frantically screamed, Sai! What is this nightmare? They violently intercepted him. Running away? Unexpectedly, gorgeous Tinian frostily declared, I care nothing about that insignificant child. Stop delaying our fated departure! Approach me! Sai shrieked in terror. Tae-soon, utterly mind-blown, hollered, Holy crap! Defying all logical predictions. However, our protagonist finally unlocked his badass awakening. Several distracted guards investigated that bizarre metal beast. Yikes! That portrait surprisingly resembles an actual human! Tae-soon mentally panicked. Has my destiny spiraled this wildly? His blazing eyes locked onto that villainous soldier mercilessly dragging fragile Sai by her hair. I lack context, but real men absolutely never violently abuse helpless innocent children. He aggressively lunged forward, violently pinning that broadsword beneath his boot. Remove your disgusting paws! The stunned guard beside Tinian confusedly inquired. How should we proceed? The breathtaking Duke lazily commanded. Temporarily allow this hilarious drama. That disgusting lackey grasping Sai twisted around, demanding, What is your pathetic problem? Unbelievably fast, enraged Tae-soon violently bashed his skull, causing a massive concussion. Sai froze, mesmerized by his glorious heroism. Tae-soon extended his saving palm. Run! Her eyes overflowed with tears, desperately clutching her unexpected savior's hand. However, pivoting backward, she witnessed breathtaking Tinian, menacingly looming there, arms aggressively folded, sporting an incredibly icy scowl. Before he bellowed, You! Tae-soon violently body-slammed him aside. Clear the damn path, you absolutely gorgeous towering obstacle! Instantly slamming that heavy hatch shut, Sai scrambled toward the cabin. Swiftly, Tae-sun boarded his vehicular beast, totally locking absolutely everything down. "Listen, Duke, never disrespect my massive ego again!" Dropping that sassy farewell, Tae-sun zoomed his beast away, abandoning the gloriously terrifying Duke planted there, absolutely dumbfounded, romantically frozen for several breathless seconds. After being dumped like a delicate heroine, he dangerously smirked. "Ha!" Inside the beast, Sai asked, "Tae-sun, honestly, is it truly suicidal escaping like this? Completely antagonizing that outrageously handsome nobleman? That walking nightmare?" Tae-sun furiously bellowed. "Why are you acting so timid? Maybe I should just push you entirely away from all this. I mean, it honestly feels like I am constantly dragging Mr. Tae-sun into absolute peril. I desperately begged for your protection, yet you have not accepted a single coin from me. Here I am, acting like a total burden and remaining completely unhelpful. Stop unfairly blaming yourself, kid!" Honestly, I simply could not stand watching that punk endlessly disrespect his elders. Typical modern youth behavior, Sai pondered internally. Is that his true motive? No, there must be a deeper reason. He merely wants to erase my heavy guilt. As expected, he is a dazzling knight, Tae-sun grimaced, silently grumbling. Regardless, youngsters today completely lack manners towards elders. Pushing those thoughts aside, he asked, "By the way, Sai, why exactly are they ruthlessly hunting you?" Her voice trembled as she confessed, "I desperately fled my home, leading directly to our fateful first encounter. I believed my existence held worth there, yet I shamefully fled because the terror of death consumed me. I am an undeniably awful, self-centered girl, right?" Tae-sun stopped dead in his tracks, staring in absolute bewilderment. "What nonsense are you spouting? How can anyone measure human worth? If you hear garbage like that, completely ignore it and let it wash over you. What possible benefit comes from painfully degrading your self-worth? Mr. Tae-sun, why are you suddenly fuming? Honestly, I should be the one asking that. Have you completely lost your mind? You are barely a child, yet you suffer endlessly under those twisted parents." Sai stood utterly speechless, her heart hammering wildly. But society screams everything is my fault. Your existence is a wretched stain. Your pretty face is your only redeeming trait. The blame is theirs. You are completely innocent." Tae-sun exhaled heavily. With monstrous guardians like those, it is entirely normal to doubt your own shadow. You must navigate this cruel world eventually. But carrying such a painfully fragile spirit... Hold on. If I start lecturing her, will she label me a boomer? Still, these golden words of wisdom will absolutely save her later. These days, offering advice makes the youth cringe. Catching himself, Tae-sun violently flinched and awkwardly shouted, "A boomer!" Wait, I am not preaching, so do not misunderstand, all right? Hot tears cascaded down her cheeks. I understand. Those comforting words were what my heart craved. Hey, goodness, if you keep bawling, you will ruin your pretty face. Stop it! Seeing her puffy cheeks, Tae-sun released a soft groan. Look, Sai, sink into the cushions and rest. We are driving straight toward the capital, she whispered softly. Okay. My escape might have sparked massive chaos, yet my heart believes we will survive, as long as Mr. Tae-sun remains beside me. She squeezed her eyes shut. I am incredibly blessed that our paths crossed. She fluttered her eyes open. Tae-sun released a massive yawn. Where exactly are we? Right then, Sai gasped in awe. Oh wow, is this a 5-day bazaar? Focus, girl, this is no time for sightseeing. Regardless, we infiltrated this hub for a mission. Flashing back, Tae-sun had gruffly checked. The Grand Metropolis is straight ahead, correct? Yes, I am fairly positive. We blasted straight through and arrived way ahead of schedule. I actually managed a cozy little snooze! Thrust into this romance fantasy realm during his commute, Tae-sun rubbed his temples, grumbling wearily. I refuse to let this situation spiral further. I camouflaged the rig completely out of sight. Let us go. Wait, Mr. Tae-sun, take this! She draped a mantle over him. I plan to use it, but your bizarre clothing screams for attention. I will swap into another disguise. Uttering those words, Sai froze in adorable bewilderment. Pivoting around, she shyly gestured toward the massive steel beast. Could you possibly help me unlock it? That box is pitch black, and it terrifies me. Scanning the alleyways, Texan muttered. Where is this shadow broker? Back in the present, Sai chirped. Should we begin hunting our contact immediately? Right now? Absolutely. Determined, she approached the crowd to gather clues. Following an exhausting trek that left their legs burning, the duo halted, gazing upward at a shady tavern signboard. Exchanging knowing glances, they offered mutual nods. The sketchy dealer asked again, Hanguk? Texan exploded, roaring, Incorrect! It is Hanguk, the Republic of Korea, South Korea. Do you know spicy fermented cabbage? Never heard that. I must research that location separately. Delivering that response, the proprietor extended his palm. Texan scoffed. What? Another demand for 100 silver? Take this. Keep the change. Hovering nervously, Sai panicked. 100 silver? Why this sudden surcharge? What is he paying for? The merchant pinched the currency suspiciously, asking, What is this garbage? Is it authentic? Texan roared. Pure iron! Instantly, the coin was discarded, accompanied by the enraged broker screaming, Take your trash back! Fun fact, the composition of a 100 won piece is cupronickel, an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Scrambling through the dust to retrieve his change, Texan cursed. The audacity! Does he believe 100 won coins sprout from dirt? Does he assume gathering wealth is effortless? The proprietor stared at Sai. Want to exchange something of value? I desperately need to find someone. My missing mother. She served as a maidservant for the Baron Brody family until recent years. Every trace of her existence vanished since then. Is that your only lead? This will be exceptionally difficult. Biting her lip, Sai pulled jewelry from her pocket and set it on the desk. All these jewels should equal 300 silver, including the search and data about Hanguk. Need these juicy secrets as soon as possible? Well, with this fat stack of cash. Fine, return by tomorrow early morning. So, we are walking away totally empty-handed. Will that shady broker actually dig up all the sweet romantic intel we desperately asked for? Can he really handle our demands? What is my handsome companion pondering? Suddenly, a comical, loud rumble erupted from Sai's hungry tummy. Her cheeks flushed cherry red. No, I swear! Tyson smoothly chuckled. Hey, relax. That was my stomach. He smirked inwardly. My cute little friend is definitely starving. Craving anything special? Right then, an obnoxious scream totally ruined the mood. Scram, you filthy furball! Get out of my sight! Tyson quickly spotted the grumpy drunkard, noticing a cheeky stray cat happily stealing a juicy steak. His handsome face suddenly dropped. She swooned. Is he pitying that poor kitty? He suddenly pointed ahead. Sai, head inside that cute cafe first. She blinked. Wait, are you busy doing something else? Just grabbing a quick smoke break? I will follow. Promise me you will not punch innocent locals, okay? No punching, just puffing. Seriously? Zero smokes around? Sai then awkwardly waddled into the cozy tavern. Hello there. I would love some food. The jolly host nodded. Taking her seat, she curiously peeked upstairs. What is on that upper level? Oh, we run a lovely inn upstairs. Wait, it suddenly hit her. We totally forgot to book a room tonight. My handsome Tyson needs a cozy bed too. Sharing a cute space tonight sounds perfect. Blushing deeply, she mumbled, Excuse me, could I rent one cozy room? Suddenly, a squad of ugly thugs swaggered over, flirting. Hey there, gorgeous! Exploring all by your lonesome? Sai trembled nervously. Why do you care? The creep leered, raking his dirty gaze over her. A fancy princess like you shouldn't wander solo. The roads are terrifyingly dangerous, so why not cuddle up with us gentlemen tonight? Eek, back off, please stop. Nearby, a bespectacled stranger caught her panicked squeals, watching closely. The disgusting thug suddenly snatched her delicate wrist with terrifying force. Come on, let us have fun, Sai squeaked desperately. My boyfriend is right here. Instantly, a booming, majestic voice thundered through. Unhand, my girl! Tyson radiated an absolutely freezing, murderous aura. What exactly are you doing to my precious companion? Her heart fluttered at his heroic entry. My knight! The thugs flinched back. Crap! She actually brought backup? Over at the quiet corner table, the handsome stranger realized her gallant hero arrived, smirking playfully as he gracefully sat back down. Tyson sighed, scratching his head playfully. Seriously, cutie, why do you attract chaotic drama the second I look away? I am just painfully shy and clumsy, she pouted. He chuckled warmly. Hey, listen, try standing tall with absolute dazzling confidence. Like this? Ah, all right, I will practice. At that moment,